So welcome. My name is Sharon Webb, and I'm one of the co-Is on the project. So welcome virtually to the Sussex Humanities Lab. There's a few of us here in the lab, socially distanced, very hard, but actually we're here together. So if there's any echoes or any audio problems, please bear with us as we kind of figure those things out. So as I said, welcome to the Sussex Humanities Lab and to the first event of the new research network, Intersections, Feminism, Technology and Digital Humanities, or as we like to call it, IFTe. So we're delighted that so many of you could make it today, and we really look forward to this week's events and to the coming months for the various network events that follow. So today's workshop is titled Code and Multiculturalism, and it's part one of 3 workshops or events that are happening this week, which consider various forms of feminist hacking the systems. They relate to the first action of this network, which Kylie Jarrett from Maynooth University will speak to in a minute. Kylie's waving now. And so I'll introduce Kylie now in a moment. And this first action has been organised by the University of Sussex and with Ginny from Maynooth University as well, and Cecilia's Okay, so as I said, this action, feminist coding and programming practice, relates to recent work by various members of the IFTe network, as well as the Sussex Humanities-based network feminist approaches to computational technology, or FACT, which is co-run by myself and Cecile. The workshops around this week will explore the way in which coding and programming practices from a feminist, queer and post-colonial perspective have materialised and developed across the fields, across various fields, and which challenge existing cultural conditioning in DH and beyond. Each workshop that we have this week explores structural inequalities in computational systems and considers feminist interventions which help us to make computation technologies and digital humanities more inclusive. But before we get to some housekeeping for today's session and to the speakers for today, I'm going to hand over to Kylie, who is Associate Professor in Maynooth University in Digital Humanities, and as I said, PI for the Irish side of this project.
Welcome everyone to this first event in the calendar of the IFTe network. As Sharon said, the network is a series of events which emerged out of, I guess, a disquiet or a discomfort about the ways in which digital humanities was, I guess, theorized or practiced in relation to feminist thinking, in the sense that it was always kind of an add-on or an extra or something that's wasn't considered core to the business of doing digital humanities, both theoretically and practically. And we wanted to kind of challenge that, and we wanted to extend digital humanities a bit more and just expand the thinking about particularly intersectional feminist thinking and its role in digital humanities, and thinking of how we can use it as a structuring principle within practice and theory rather than just an add-on. So we came together in this network and we managed to secure a grant from the AHRC and the IRC and Ireland Digital Humanities Networking Grant to bring people together to build a network of scholars, practitioners and activists and artists and archivists and community organizations who are interested in thinking differently about the types of things we're doing with digital humanities these days. At the time, of course, it was pre-COVID, so a lot of our money was earmarked for travel. So unfortunately, we can't do that now. So we're making do at the moment with this. And I think in some ways, there's opportunities that we can have to expand the membership, having more people in the room. So what we really want to come out of today and the next couple of days of this is to start this process of thinking through the tools and the ways of engaging more materially with intersectional feminist thinking and what it can bring to a digital humanities practice rather than just being considered as something that you might want to add on at the end, just something that can animate it. This is one of a series of 3 kind of events that we're hosting. The other one is going to be about, one of the other ones is about theoretical framings that we can bring, and the other one is about archiving, and particularly community archiving practices and how we might develop those differently as well. So that's kind of the project. This is step 1. We're delighted to have you on board as part of this hopefully growing network of people interested in this area. I don't know whether Caroline has anything she wants to add at this point.
No, I'd just like to say that this network is fantastic and is already much more interesting than the ADHO paper about feminism that was refused on the basis it might be good if there was room in a conference about DH for feminism, which is partly where this network came from, actually. But we're already better than that. So thanks for coming. The other thing I just wanted to flag, actually, was that we've got 3 events where we come together, and we're also exploring writing together. So we'll be running a writing project alongside these events. So hopefully we can contact everybody, and I think we've got the right to use your emails. I think you've consented to that. So we'll be in touch about the writing process, which we hope will be collaborative and involving lots of people, and will take multiple forms. So thanks for that. Thanks.
Okay, so today's session, as I mentioned, is based around the idea of, or the theme of code and multiculturalism. So this focuses on feminist, post-colonial critiques of programming and digital heritage work. It questions the prevalence of English as the language of coding, and explores digital arts practices, including hacking or DIY style coding practices that seek to address bias and discrimination. So our 3 speakers, Janine Nagy, Rahim Hosni, and Judith Ricketts, will speak to different aspects of code and multiculturalism. And as I said, I'll introduce each speaker, and then we'll have a 10-minute Q&A at the end of that.